Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Narayanam Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantastvime Loka Saptadvipa Cha Medini Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to this third day of Srimad Bhagavad Gita through the eyes of Bhagwan Sri Shankaracharya. We are looking into the first chapter, the Yoga of Arjuna's Confusion, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. And in that Arjuna Vishada Yoga, we have come up to the part where Duryodhana runs up to his teacher. Sanjaya is narrating to Dhritarashtra. He is giving a picture of Duryodhana being very apprehensive about the results of the war, and that is he is completely demoralized, and that is making him act nervously and doing the wrong things like making fun of his teacher and giving instructions which he doesn't need to give and all that. And finally, Bhishma realizes the nervousness of Duryodhana and he blows the conch, Simhanadam. And after Bhishma blows the conch, the others, that is Bhagavan Shri Krishna, arriving in his white horse chariot, great chariot, blows his Panchajanya, and Arjuna blows his conch, Devadatta, Poundra, Bhima, then Ananta Vijaya, Yudhishthira, Sughosha, and Manipushpakau are the conches that are blown by Nakula and Sahadeva. So when there is a tumultuous sound that is created, the war cries have been sounded, the battlefield is ready for battle. At that time, Arjuna, who was ready with his bow and arrow, lifted up, tells Krishna to park the chariot between the two armies, between the two sides, so that he can take a look. So this taking a look is a very important thing in this chapter. It appears 3 times. One time by Duryodhana, Pashya, he says that word. And then Arjuna says, I want to see both sides, how they are arranged. And Krishna also says, though it's not in the words of Krishna, as Sanjaya narrates it, he tells, I parked the chariot, now you take a look, you see. So this shows that when there is disturbance created by the sense of sound, we rely on the right information provided by the sense of sight. So Pashya is being given so much of importance here. Yesterday we saw this 21st verse. Hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate Arjuna uvacha senayorubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechyuta. Stop the chariot between the two armies. It's not a command. Krishna is a friend, but still, as his position as a charioteer, Arjuna is able to give it as a command. It is in the commanding word grammatical expression. You stop it. It's not please stop or could you please stop and all that. Stop the chariot between the two armies. So what does he continue to tell him? Why does he want to do that? Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukamanavasthitan kairmaya sahayodhavyam अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धेः प्रियचिकीर्षवः यावद् एतां निरीक्ष्य अहम् I will take a look at this army. What will I want to see? Yodhukaman avasthitan. The people who are all desirous of fighting, they are all standing before me. Let me take a look at how they are positioned. Kaihi maya saha yodhavyam. With whom should I fight? Asmin rana samudyame. In this battlefield, Asmin, in this battlefield, Rana is the battlefield. Samudyame, which is present right here, people have all gathered to fight. Let me see who are all standing on the other side, and let me also see with whom I have to fight. Yotsyamanan avekshe aham ya eta atra samagataha. I am desirous of looking at the people who are all gathered here, Yotsyamanan, the people who are all going to fight, Aham Avekshe. I am going to see how much, to what extent I can see, Ubayoho Senayoho Madhye, Ratham Stapaya. With this idea, you please, to the maximum extent to which I can see all the people who are all gathered here, please stop the chariot, Krishna, says Arjuna. And then what happens? After Arjuna says, Krishna quietly does what he has to do. Eva mukto Hrishikeshaha Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam Bhishmadrona Pramukhatah Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Arjuna was very enthusiastic actually. Arjuna was not in a very morose or a very dejected state when he said this. Because Dhanurudhyamya Pandava, he lifted up his bow and bow, and then only he said this. So you don't lift up the bow if you're feeling very morose, if you're feeling very depressed, or if you're feeling very confused. He was very steady. He lifted up his bow, and he told Krishna to do this with the intention to fight. So that is what was happening. When he told Krishna, he actually thought in his mind that Krishna would stop the chariot and show him with whom he has to fight, meaning Duryodhana and all those people who were very, very much responsible for this war, who have really gone out of the way to make this war happen. But Krishna studies the mind of Arjuna and he gives him a quiet shock treatment. He does not do what Arjuna thinks. Krishna does Krishna shows him what he wants to show Arjuna, what he wants Arjuna to see. In life also, we will like to see certain things, but we will be shown what we have to see rather than what we wish to see or what we like to see. Here, Bhagavan Shri Krishna shows him what he has to see, shows him the scene that will trigger his emotions from within, that will not make him think to jump into the war immediately. So that is the place where the chariot is being stopped. So where it is being stopped, Eva Mukto Hrishikeshaha Gudakeshena Bharata. Once Gudakesha, Arjuna, who has no sleep, Arjuna whose sleep has been controlled completely, Gudaka Isha, Arjuna, Hrishikesha, the one with short hair or the one with controlled senses, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Senayoho Ubhayoho Madhye Stapayitva Ratha Uttamam. So everything is being described so beautifully. It is not an ordinary chariot. It is a very great chariot. It is a very divine chariot. Senayoho, that chariot is being stopped between the two armies. Ubhayoho Madhye Stapayitva. Having stopped the chariot in between, where does he actually point out to Arjuna? There may be everybody else around, but Bhagavan Sri Krishna points out, Bhagavan Sri Krishna points out to Bhishma, Drona, and all the other people who are all standing behind them. Bhishma, Drona Pramukhataha, led by Bhishma and Drona, Sarvesham cha Mahi Ikshitam. These are all the kings. The Mahi Iksha is a name for king, the one who looks upon land, meaning the king is the one who protects spaces, who guards spaces for the welfare of the people. Mahi Iksha, Uvacha, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells. Here it is not given in his direct words, but it is reported that he said. And the reporter here is Sanjaya. Partha Pashyaetan Samavetan Kuruniti. O Partha, the son of Prithvi, the son of Kunti. Uvacha, Partha, Pashyaetan. Look at all these. These are all the people, the Kurus, from the family of the Kurus, who are all arranged in the battlefield here. So please take a look at them. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, and Arjuna is continuing. What happens after that? Tatra pashyat sthitan parthaha pitrunath pitamahan acharyan matulan bhratrun putran pautran sakhins tatha shvashuran suhridaschaiva senayorubhayorapi tan samikshya sakaunteya sarvan bandhunavasthitan. So Arjuna is now seeing tatra apashyat sthitan parthaha. Partha, Arjuna is seeing or taking a look. Tatra, there, apashyat, he is looking. Sthitan, those people who are standing there, who are standing pitrun atha pitamahan, people who are all equal to his parents and people who are all like Bhishmacharya, grandparents, great-grandparents, pitamahan, acharyan, he is looking at his teachers, Dronacharya, his grandfather Bhishmacharya is also a teacher, and Kripacharya, and maybe other teachers are there. Everybody is there on the Kaurava side only. Acharyan, Matulan, his uncles, mothers, brothers, Bhratrun, his cousin brothers, Putran, people who are all equal to his sons, Pautran, people who are equal to his grandsons on the other side, Sakhim, people who are all his friends, Shvashuran, people who are his fathers-in-law, Suhridaha, people who are all his well-wishers, everybody are there, Senayoho Ubhayoho Api. On either sides of the battlefield, he's seeing all these people. But mainly on the opposite side, on his side also, he's taking a look. And then what happens? Tan samikshyasa kaunteyaha. Again, this word iksha, to look. Mahikshitam, people who are all looking at the earth. The word, the cause for delusion in our life is, that is why this sense organ of sight is given so much of importance in many of these verses. Delusion happens when we just see forms and understand meanings out of it, and then make conclusions in our mind. Then it is a sure recipe for delusion. So Arjuna looks at all the forms. He is not thinking deeply. He is not listening to anything. He is not giving a thought, but he is just swallowed into the emotions by just seeing the forms. Tam samikshasa kaunteyaha. This Arjuna, son of Kunti, samiksha, samyak iksha. He is looking very clearly at everything. What is he looking at? He is not looking at people. He is not looking at warriors. He is not looking at Maharathis. He is looking at Sarvan Bandhun. He is looking at all his relationships. All his relatives are there on the other side. Sarvan Bandhun Avasthitan. In our life also, it is a very, very common thing. When it comes to professional work, it can be even at home, or it can be in the office, or it can be in public space. When there is professional work to be done, it has to be handled professionally only. Like everybody is an individual person who is gathered together to doing that work with love and respect. But when we bring in our personal relationships, whether it is with corruption or with nepotism, or bringing our family relationships there, and when we are trying to apply everything through a family equation of familiarity, familiarity is a big problem. Familiarity makes us very comfortable with all kinds of nonsense in life. All anartha, all that is nonsensical, that does not make any sense, is accepted when it is familiar. The word familiar and the word family have got the same root, something that is very known. In a family, in childhood, this is the whole subject of complex post traumatic stress disorder today. It has got a name. Post traumatic stress disorder is what people who face, especially in very critical working conditions like the army, in the battlefield, and also in a very in a very sensitive working condition, where some sense organs are very alive and active in high sounds, or in a factory workshop, or where there are a lot of politics and all that. When you're working in that, and then finally when you come out of it, even when you are retired, or even when you're out of the working space, the memories of the working space, the memories of what happened, they keep haunting you, and you are not able to be quiet. In the same way, in families, when as small children we see fighting, we see constant backbiting or gossip, or one-upmanship, or blaming, criticism, so many qualities that are not very good we may experience as children. We don't know how to interact related to that. We just accept it as normal because our child's mind cannot analyze and understand. So it becomes normal. So this is the difference between the family and the general society, where you don't know the people. There we don't accept any abnormality as normal. But in a family, when people are cheating, when people are backbiting, when people are shouting, when people are hitting also, when people are angry, when people are abusive, everything goes under acceptance. And so, even the person, this is a complex post traumatic stress disorder symptoms, go like this. Even when the person grows up, they get such treatment in life, and it becomes they are not able to distinguish that this should not be the case, because That is their output that they've been giving, the suffering output, without realizing, in ignorance that they give out, they get it as an input from society. And even though they do not know that, even though they do not know that this should not be the case, they are not able to distinguish, and they go through a lot of suffering as a result, and they need therapy and treatment, and they even indulge in many difficult, unwanted practices because of that, because they are not able to control, deregulate their nervous system, which has been affected in this manner. So, this is the problem that relationships can cause in the workplace. Now, Arjuna is having that problem only. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji in the Holy Gita, he says, Arjuna is suffering from the neurological condition called delirium tremens. So, Sarvan Bandhun Avasthitan. He is looking at all the relatives there, and what happens to him immediately? Kripaya paraya avishtaha vishidam idam abravita. Kripaya paraya kripaya. He is taken, he is consumed by supreme pity. It is our own experience also. We might have played with many cousins in childhood. So beautifully we might have played with them. But when we grow up as adults, because the families of those parents, the parents of those children may have fought with each other, or may have certain ideas about the status in which they are there, and so the parents will separate. The parents who were all very friendly and close when we were children would not communicate well with each other, and as a result, these children who were talking very well also, they also have to be part of that battle, and it is a very very difficult condition for those children. So, and we always, there is a thought in the mind, why am I not talking with that cousin? Why is that cousin not talking with me? Why is this sister cousin not talking with me? Why is that brother cousin just turning away? Why doesn't he call me? Why does he talk to me? Why am I not able to go to their house so easily? Why are they not coming to our house and playing like we did in those days? So this thought is a big torture in our mind. In the same way, Arjuna is overwhelmed by pity, because even with all the hatred and all that, they've been very friendly together, except for the few instances they've been playing and they've been doing some very nice things together. But he is overwhelmed by pity for his own self. It is not pity for others. It apparently looks like he is thinking about others, but it is actually his own self pity, which is what is being mentioned by as kripa. Kripa basically means compassion. Kripu samarthye, where the compassion is, you want to do, it is a kriya padam, where it is a verb, where you want to do something to help others. But here, it is a very helpless condition in which he is in. Kripaya paraya avishtaha. He is overwhelmed by self-pity. Vishidan. He is experiencing a lot of sorrow. And then he says, idam abravit. What does Arjuna say? Vishidan idam abravit. Drishtve swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं संसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाभवे. So Krishna is going down the ladder of fall of his emotions, where his whole nervous system has now become dysregulated, and these are all the conditions that happen in the medical condition of delirium tremens, when the nervous system is completely dysregulated because of what he sees. The word pashya is very important here. Whatever he has seen, He has taken it, the vision has gone into his mind, and it has caused an overwhelming, it has triggered an overwhelming amount of sorrow within him. And now he's looking, he's trying to take a deep look. And the more he takes a deep look, the more he is losing his balance. Drishtva imam swajanam. He's seeing his own people. Swajanam. Krishna. He's telling Krishna, "Oh Krishna, seeing all my people here, yuyutsum samupastitam." In our homes also this is there. When there is no need to fight at all, sometimes there will be a fight. And you will be thinking in your mind, there is no need to fight. Why is this fight happening? Everything can be solved so beautifully. But the person, one individual is thinking on one wavelength, and the other individual is not in that wavelength, is thinking and operating from another wavelength of thought. And that is why the fight is happening. And it is uncontrollable, and it is the way. There is silent treatment. There is people just walk around the house without talking to each other. People just ignore each other. People just basically they don't want to express their cheerfulness and goodness around the place. In many houses it is experienced. It's sheer torture of the mind to be hanging around like that and moving around the place without talking, without interacting. Especially in city spaces it happens. It doesn't happen so much in the villages, when life is very natural, when everybody is tuned into nature, when everybody is tuned into the relationships, everybody is aware of their duties, when everything is smooth and normal, these things don't happen. But when in political conditions, in warlike conditions, in disturbed situation, in dysregulated situations, this is the case. So he's saying, Yuyutsum samupastitam. These people are all swajanam, my own people, but they are all ready to fight in the battle. So seeing this, Sidanti mama gatrani, my body is shaking. It is like I'm feeling feverish and I'm very nervous. Sidanti mama gatrani. Mukham cha parishushati. My tongue has become dried. This is a very normal experience we find. What is actually happening inside is our consciousness is what is perceiving everything. And when the brain is a very important mechanism in any situation, the brain is constantly looking out for danger, because the purpose of the brain is to protect the human body, and the purpose of the individual ego or ahamkara, the I thoughts, the I feeling, is to protect this individual existence in life. There is nobody else that can protect this individual being in this life like the ahamkara. In the same way, there is nothing else that can protect this individual body, which is constantly worried and concerned about protecting this body, unlike the brain. So this brain is perceiving, the eyes are the windows for the brain. The eyes are perceiving this, and the brain is causing an alert. It is giving way, because it is making him forget all his strength. It is making him forget all his valor. It is making him forget all his courage. And he has become like that small child. He has gone into his own inner child, and the shadow of Arjuna, the shadow qualities of getting afraid, of shaking, and losing control, or getting disturbed, all that has taken over now. Sidanti mama gatrani, my body is shaking. It is very tired. We can experience that sometimes in certain conversations. Maybe somebody is shouting at us. Something will withdraw inside us, and we will feel so weak. We don't know what is that something. We will feel so weak. We will not be able to talk. We will not be even able to stand. We will be wondering, what is it that is leaving my hands? What is that power that is going away? The feeling of powerlessness will come inside. Sidanti mama gatrani, mukham cha parishushati. Even this feeling we would have experienced. It's a common experience. Maybe sometimes when I am caught doing something that I should not do as a child also, and being reprimanded for that, and I know it is wrong and I've done it and I've been caught red handed, immediately the tongue will get dry, parched. There will be, I will not be able to speak because the power is withdrawn. The power is withdrawing itself and preparing itself for the battle ahead. Sidanti mama gatrani, mukham cha parishusyati. My face has become dried up and shriveled. Like we say white, it has gone white means the energy has left the face, it has withdrawn itself. Vepatushya sharire me, I am shivering, the body is shivering, sharire me, roma harshascha jayate, there is full of horripilation, because horripilation happens when the endocrinal glands, the the oxytocin, the hormone of oxytocin is a very important role that has to play here, because that comes in when we meet our relatives, when we meet our close friends, people whom we can hug or whom we have hugged. So that is the one that can bring out our oxytocin energies here, the secretions. And when those secretions are secreted in the body, we can feel a lot of goose pimples, horripilation, it is called. For whatever reason, it can be cortisol, it can be oxytocin, it can be dopamine, preparation for war, or it is not definitely a feel good feeling for Arjuna at the present moment. Roma harshascha jayate, the body is standing on end. Oh my God, that is, he is coming face to face with reality. I have to kill all these people. So that is what he is thinking right now. And what is happening to him? Gandivam sramsate hastat. His Gandiva, he is very proud of his bow. He has taken a vow that anybody should not speak against his Gandiva. If they speak against the Gandiva, then that person is to be done with. He has to be gone. He has to be dead. That means by Arjuna. So Arjuna was so proud of his Gandiva, and he was always holding the Gandiva. He will never drop it. And that Gandiva, which he is holding on to, is not standing in his hand. Sramsate hastat tvakchaiva paridakyate. His skin also is burning hot. It is all because of the endocrinal activity, the brain activity that is happening, the secretion of the different hormones, the state of confusion, the state of perspiration, the state of helplessness, the state of hopelessness that he is experiencing when he sees everything. The end state, rather, the doom that he is seeing in front of him. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum. I am not able to stand Krishna. I am feeling like that feeling we have all experienced sometimes. The feeling of everything is letting, like the whole universe is just letting us go. Like we feel that there is nothing worth anymore to stand there and talk in that place, or to be there and see. There's nothing worth seeing in that place. That's a very difficult feeling we get. Sometimes it can happen. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum Bhramati vacha me manaha. My mind is as if it's spinning with so many thoughts, so many confused emotions, and so much of feelings. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. In the state of moha, this is a state of delusion. So in life, we get three experiences, basically three experiences from the three gunas. There is a sattva guna, there is a rajo guna, and there is a tamo guna. From sattva guna, we get the experience of joy. We feel bliss, we feel happiness because of the presence of sattva guna. From rajo guna, we get the experience of dynamism, work, activity, movement. Even pain is also rajo guna. It is an experience of the movement of prana, is rajo guna. And tamo guna is the experience of moha or delusion. So he is experiencing the gift of tamoguna, which is moha. And what is moha? Moha is a state of identification with the body. like I am not the body. He is able to say, Vepatuhu cha sharire me. My body, he is able to say, but he is not able to live that thought. He is living as the body, even though grammatically he is speaking correctly, but he is living as if he is experiencing the body. Nimittani cha pashyami, he is experiencing the mind. The mind is showing him all ill omens. Nimittani cha pashyami, like ill omens, like we say, this owl is shouting, the black cat went in between. So there is going to be disturbance, there is going to be sorrow. Nimittani cha pashyami. Viparitani Keshava. Viparita means something that is going to be topsy turvy. It is not normal. Viparitani Keshava. Keshava, the one who has uh, conquered the Asura called Keshi, is Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So he is talking to an experienced warrior. He is not talking to some person, some uncle, or somebody who doesn't know anything. He is talking to a very professional person who knows what's happening. And so he is just opening himself out to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Viparitani Keshava, Nimittani cha Pashyami. And then what does he see? Nacha Shreyonu Pashyami, Hatva Swajanamahave. I don't see anything great about fighting all this time. Arjuna didn't have these kind of doubts at all. When there was a war, he would just stand there, go fight, he will win the war and he will come back. That has been his history. His name is Vijaya. Arjuna has got 10 names, and one of the names is Vijaya, where he can conquer. Wherever he goes, he conquers and comes back. That has been his history. Nacha Shreyaha Anupashyami. O Krishna, I'm not seeing anything best or the well, meaning this is when countries are going to war, even today in the present conditions also, we should note that war is not something that can give the best for everybody. War is not the best. It is an inevitable outcome. It can be an inevitable outcome, but definitely it is not the best. It is not in the best interests of everybody. It is not shreyas. It is not peace. It is not joy. It is not bliss. It is not happiness. It is like there is no other go and it has to be done and done with. Naja Shreya Anupashyami Hatva Swajanam Ahave. My own people, I don't see anything good happening because I have to kill them, Krishna. Hatva Swajanam Ahave. Nakangsh. Then he goes into a lamentation mode for quite some time. Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna Nacharajyam Sukhani cha Kim no Rajyena Govinda Kim Bhogair Jivitena va Esham Arthe Kangshitam Naha Rajyam Bhoga Sukhani cha Taimev Sthita Yuddhe Pranam Styaktva Dhanani cha Acharyaः Pitarah Putraः Tathaiva cha Pitamahaः Matulaः Shvashuraः Pautraः Shala Sambandhinastatha. So he is giving a description of his own thoughts, his own feelings, and his expectations. He says, Na Kamshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacha Rajyam Sukhanicha. This is that when the grapes are sour, I don't want those grapes. He would not have said this if everything was going well for him. But now suddenly Arjuna is backing out from the battlefield. He says, I don't want victory, Krishna. I don't want kingdom also. I don't wish for having a kingdom. I don't want to be enjoying a kingdom to be happy. Kim no rajyena govinda. What of a kingdom? Kim bhogaihi jivitena va. What is the big use of enjoying so many things while living after this war has happened? Why? Eshamarthe kangshitam naha rajyam bhogaha sukhani cha tayime avastita yuddhe. For whose sake I am desiring kingdom and the goodness the good things to enjoy, everything, Rajyam, the kingdom, Sukhani, all the best experiences, they're all arranged here. Te me avasthita. Te ime avasthita yuddhe. They're all arranged in the battlefield here. Pranam stitva, having given up their life. This is the second life time in the first chapter. Having given up their life. So this is an indicator, like how in movies, when we see, there will be an indicator for the climax. In the same way, he is giving an indicator for the climax of the movies. These people who are standing before me have given up their lives. Already means it's gone. Pranam styaktva, they've given up their wealth, they've given up their life, and they're all standing here in the battlefield. Acharyaha, who are all standing here? He is not talking about Duryodhana, Dushasana. He will never have a problem if he saw Duryodhana or Dushasana or all those evil people who did evil things, which is there in the story of the Mahabharata. But whom is he seeing? He is having a problem because he is seeing all the people he considered so good and so helpful to him and so loving and so kind to him as he was growing up, who have taught him, and all those who are his well-wishers and friends. He is seeing all of them and people who have to live in this world. Acharyaha, the teachers, Pitaraha, my equal to my parents, my ancestors, Putraha, my children, Tathaivacha Pitamahaha, my grandparents, my all grandfathers are all there. Matulaha, my uncles, Shwashuraha, my fathers-in-law. Then Pautraha, my grandchildren, Shyalaha, my wife's brothers, people who are all the brothers of or cousins of their his wife. Sambandhinaha tatha. Sambandhi, samyak bandhaha. A sambandhi is a person who is very tied together in marriage through a family is our sambandhi. Samyak bandha. It is not somebody else. It is some bandha. They are tied together. So these are all the people who are all standing before me, and it gives me a lot of difficulty to fight in this battle against all these people. Etannahantumichhami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokyarajyasya heto kim nu mahikrite. Etan nahantumichhami. All these people I don't want to kill. Gnataha api. Even if I am killed, O Madhusudana, na hantum ichhami. Even if they are going to kill me, I don't want to kill them. Api Trailokya Rajyasya Hetoho Kim Nu Mahi Krite. Even for all the three worlds, the kingship in all the three worlds, that is the waking state, the deep dream state, and the deep sleep state, I don't want to kill them. What for? Only for the sake of this earth. You think I want to kill them? I don't want to kill them. Nihatya dhartarashtraannaha ka priti syad janardana papamevashraye dasman hatvaitanatatayinah. Now very interesting, one more expression he is using. He is using the word naha. He is using the word us. All this time it was only him. Now he is joining everybody else. Sometimes, people, when they do not want to say something difficult about themselves, using only. They say, we are all very fat these days, right? We are all not controlling our food. We are all not eating. So why that we is coming, we will be wondering. It is only that person. It may not be you. But they will join you in everything. We are all always wanting to escape from the classroom. We all want to go to the movies always. It is not we, it is only you. But here, in the same way, it is not we, it is not everybody. Yudhishthira has got no problem. Bhima has got no problem. Nakula and Sahadeva has got no problem. Only Arjuna has got this problem, but he says we. Naha nihatya dhartarashtran, killing all these Dhritarashtra's children. Ka pritihi syat naha. What is it? What is the joy that we are going to get? Oh Janardana. Janardana is the name for Krishna. Janan Ardayati. The one who is worshipped by people is Janardana. Papameva ashrayet asmana. Only sin will incur to us. He is giving a wrong information here. There is no scope for sin in this context because it is the duty of a warrior to do his job. It is not talking about sin and papa and punya, sin and goodness and all that. Papame vashrayet asman hatvaitan atatayinaha. Atatayina are the people who commit 5 types of sins or very unpardonable sins like burning other people's houses, claiming other people's wives, which all the 5 things they have done, burning so many things, felony, all kinds of actions, 5 types of actions, they're called an atatayin. So they have to be killed. And now he's telling these are all atatayinas. And if you kill them, he is actually looking at Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya, about whom he would not want to use these words, but he is thinking about Duryodhana and Dushasana, and he is giving this conversation to Krishna. So we will see the remaining few verses from this chapter tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha हरि ओम बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हरि ओम।